Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today we're looking at this case of a woman who's claiming that her dad was a prolific serial killer who killed nearly 70 women. I mean, it's not like, oh, he was a serial killer, he killed like four people. No, 70. 70? I was like, what? So police are investigating this. They say, I know where the bodies are buried. Iowa woman claims the dad was a ruthless serial killer who killed nearly 70 women. My first question is, if he died in 2013 and he killed people over 3 decades, why only now are you talking? I mean, I know sometimes with trauma it takes time. You might talk about it later. I know that very well myself. But damn, if you think your dad is a serial killer who killed 70 people, 70 women, wow. I don't know what to think of this. What do you guys think? Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see. They say a probe is underway in Iowa after a woman claimed that her late father was a ruthless serial killer who murdered dozens of women before his death about 10 years ago. Lucy Studey said her father, Donald Dean Studey, killed a shocking 50 to 70 women over 30 years, according to Newsweek. She also stunningly claimed he enlisted her and her sibling to help him move the bodies of the young women that were allegedly buried near a well on his property. I know where the bodies are buried, Lucy Studey told Newsweek. He would just tell us we had to go to the well, and I knew what that meant, Studey also reportedly said. Every time I went to the well or into the hills, I didn't think I was coming down. I thought he would kill me because I wouldn't keep my mouth shut. So terrified of him, right? Tea and Wildflowers says, what prompted her now? Jane Smith says, wow, why did she not say something before? Courtney says, is her dad Henry Lee Lucas? We don't know. No, he isn't. Well, it's Donald Studey. Is that how we'd say the surname? Studey. Okay. So Fremont County Sheriff Kevin Astrop told the Des Moines Register 2 cadaver dogs sniffed around the site, and this is what's crazy. They actually got hits that could indicate the existence of decomposing bodies in the area. She's got a hell of a story, but we don't have any proof of anything other than we had a cadaver dog hit. Astrop told the Register. We've got to have more proof than that. But he acknowledged that the hits from the dogs lend credibility to the daughter's assertion, and authorities would get a game plan here together with the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation, according to the newspaper. Sheriff's deputies began looking into Studey's story in 2021, but needed to locate the well and get the okay from the current owners of the property and neighboring properties to conduct the searches. Astrop said, according to the newspaper. Donald Studey is suspected by law enforcement of luring women who were mostly sex workers or transients from nearby Omaha, Nebraska, and bringing them to his 5-acre farmland before killing them, according to Newsweek. As you guys know, I'm South African, living in the Netherlands, and when I hear Omaha, Nebraska, I think of counting crows. Do you also? Oh, wow. True crime reactions with Jules of all trades says one kid saying yes, one kid saying no. Local state, it's been a rumor for a long time. Right? I wonder. And if it isn't true, then I wonder, okay, then why are you telling this story? What would that motive be? Studey told the publication her angry and regularly drunk dad would typically smash or kick the heads of his victims inside a trailer where the family lived. The father reportedly died at 75 in 2013. Studey said her father made her and her brother help bury the bodies on their property. Fremont County Sheriff Kevin Astrop said cadaver dogs got hits at the site of the alleged burials. She also said she made sure his children knew what he was doing, though it is unknown if her other siblings have talked with authorities, Newsweek reported. Her brother reportedly killed himself at 39. Oh my word. Studey claims she told teachers and priests, as well as law enforcement across Iowa and Nebraska, but no one would listen to me. Well, I guess, right? I would understand. Imagine if it's true, though. Like, I don't even know what to think. Imagine if this turns out to be true. Like, oh my word. Donald Studey had a criminal history as a drug and, I should have said rug. Damn it, YouTube. A rug and unrunner. YouTube is so silly with all these. Believe me, I don't want to talk like that, you guys. If 1,400 of you right now could please go over to Patreon and join, maybe I don't have to talk like that. I mean, the videos would still have majorly limited reach if I said the full words, or like, unalive, SA, instead of the D, we say rugs, and like all these words we have to use. It's really difficult sometimes, especially when true crime, right? Donald Studey had a criminal history as a rogue and gun runner, his daughter said, and had stints serving jail time for at least petty larceny and drunken driving, according to records obtained by Newsweek. And then if we look at this one, state and local officials are following leads from a woman who says her late father was a serial killer who forced his children to help bury the bodies in southwest Iowa. The woman has told authorities her late father, Donald Dean Studey of Thurman, killed as many as 70 women over 3 decades. Reporters from Newsweek say they were at the remote site in Fremont County, 36 miles south of Council Bluffs, on Friday when cadaver dogs indicated that they'd picked up the scent of human remains. The Fremont County Sheriff told Newsweek and the Des Moines. Am I saying it right now, guys? Des Moines. Because remember, there was a case where we talked about that place, and I'm like, Des Moines, Des Moines, Des Moines, Des Moines. He believes the woman and authorities are putting together a game plan for a thorough search of the property. The woman's father died in 2013, so that's quite a while ago, huh? It's almost a decade now. At the age of 75. I'm always amazed how long these serial killers live. Like, oh my word. Not always, but many times. Damn. She says the women he killed were mostly workers or transients he picked up in Omaha. The Fremont County Sheriff told KETV there had been rumors about Studi for years, but as of Monday, authorities had no evidence to support the woman's claims. And then lastly, let's look at this one. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Woman claims her dad was a prolific serial killer who buried bodies on the property. In Iowa, sheriff's deputies and state officials are investigating an Iowa woman's claim. Her late father was one of America's most prolific serial killers. I mean, we have Samuel Little, right? One of the most prolific. He says he killed over 100 women. 70. According to his daughter, Donald Dean Studey murdered 5 or 6 women a year over several decades. Okay. 3 decades. 5 or 6 a year over 30 years. And buried them in and around an abandoned well on his property near Thurman, Fremont County. Thurman, population 167 as of the last U.S. Census, is a small city near the Iowa-Nebraska state line. Do they mean like literally 167? What are they talking about there? Let me just go to this over here. Thurman, Iowa, population. Wow. Okay, like literally, there's not many people who live there. Christina says Omaha and Nebraska are very safe. 167? Is that all who lives there? That's tiny. A small city near the Iowa-Nebraska state line. Studey's property is about 40 miles from Omaha. Out there in the middle of nowhere. Counting crows, huh? On October 21st, 2 cadaver dogs took to the site, had hits indicating the possible existence of decomposing remains in the area of the well. She's got a hell of a story, but we don't have proof of anything other than we had a cadaver dog hit. We've got to have more proof than that. Well, yeah, start digging, right? He said he asked the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation for assistance. I'll get with the DCI and we'll get a game plan here together, and this just adds credibility to his story. State investigators said they are joining the investigation, but claimed it's too early for them to comment on the case. We are assisting, but it's in the infancy stages, said Mitch Mortfett, assistant director of the DCI. Omaha police officials said they are aware of the details and are offering assistance. Our participation could get larger depending on what they find, said Lieutenant Neil Bonacci, Omaha Police Public Information Officer. So the rest I think we know, right? The woman, identified at her request by her maiden name, Lucy Studey, said her father killed roughly 70 women, mostly workers and runaways, and buried them on the family's rural 5 acres. Wow. 5 or 6 dead women buried on the land. So if there's 5 or 6 women buried on the land her father lived on, then where are the other 65? Right? Sorry, I'm missing some of your messages here. Katie K says 5 acres and 70 buried bodies. Checking my math here, but does that check out for enough room? Stefan, 167, probably 3 families. Omaha is over 500K. I'm in Lincoln, next to Omaha. Yeah, demographics and all that. I haven't checked. Wow. She told them the bodies had been buried in and around an old well. 70? In a wooded area that was waterlogged. Sheriff's investigators spent much of last year attempting to find the well and get permission from the current owners of the property and neighboring properties to conduct searches. The well, since filled in, was 90 foot deep, and excavating it would be a major undertaking. He said it's hard to believe that a woman could have disappeared from the Omaha area, where Studey's daughter told Newsweek her father hunted for victims without drawing attention. But some of the women were found from other cities. You can imagine it was possible. If we had 70 missing persons from Omaha Council Bluffs, we would have picked up on that. So if there's 70 people, they're not all from here. The thing is, when it's workers, workers, again, I'm saying that for YouTube, who's oh so sensitive. Yeah, no, the workers, they aren't often tracked, right? Someone could get away with a lot of murders. Christina Laska said there are many missing Native Americans in our area. Yeah. KDK, my math is checking out on that one. Seriously, creepy vibes. Rochelle says 70 bodies in 5 acres, right? Yes, we got to. So she kept count. Oh my word, that is very scary. It reminds me of that movie. I've mentioned it before on my channel called Chained. If you haven't seen Chained, number 1, trigger warning. 2, very interesting to watch though. Teresa, give me a break. Get busy and do your job. Start digging, right? Man, court records show that Donald Studey had a history of arrests. So it's a little bit of a red flag. The most prolific known serial killers on record in the US are Samuel Little, who has been definitively tied to 60 murders of women across the nation, and the Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway, who confessed to 60 murders when he was arrested in 2001 and is suspected to have killed more than 70 women. Little, who died while serving a life sentence in California in 2020, was arrested in 2012 in connection with 3 previously unsolved killings in Los Angeles in the late 1980s. He eventually confessed to committing 93 murders. And you know what, guys? He even drew all these victims. Yeah, spent his time in prison drawing them all. He remembers everyone, he says. Ridgway 73 is serving. See, they lived quite old, right? My word. Ridgway 73 is serving multiple life sentences in Washington state in connection with 49 murders. Thurman is known for being the site of a destructive 2012 tornado. Oh, okay. So that is what I have for you today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind sharing it with all the appropriate hashtags, like if you shared it, first share it on Twitter, hashtag Cairo Jordan, hashtag Justice for Cairo Jordan. Share it again on Twitter later, hashtag Quentin Simon, Justice for Quentin Simon. And if you want to share this one, potential serial killer, I don't know what hashtag to use there, really, besides Thurman, maybe, or Thurman serial killer. But I will be watching this. I'm keeping an eye on it to see what happens. It might be, I don't know, I can just imagine a year or 2, who knows, a while before we actually hear any news on it. But I will keep an eye on it, okay? So, Devil's Advocate says, what jobs did the father hold? I also want to know. Thank you so much, Stefan, for sharing my Twitter. Thank you so much, Mods, for sharing links throughout and keeping the chat all grizzly. Thank you so much to everyone who joined membership today. I hope you enjoy not being restricted by slow mode. I think that's so cool. I did not know that until recently. I'm like, whoa, like members don't have to do slow mode? That's cool. So thank you so much to everyone who joined membership, supported the channel and all that. Thank you for liking, subscribing and all that. Love it. And I will see you guys again very soon. So if you do see an episode on this potential serial killer, just know I'm clipping this end part to put together in a separate episode. And if you're watching that now, then I hope you'll go watch the original stream where we talked about Cairo Jordan and Quentin Simon. Stuck on strings before I go. Thank you so much for that. You say, G grew up in Northeast Nebraska. very remote place. Majority of the population is Omaha, Lincoln, an hour apart. Lincoln is the capital. Disagree, not as people think. I was different. People bullied me. Native Americans suffer there. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Stefan. Great live, G. And I will see you guys all probably tomorrow, very soon. There's always lots of cases to cover. And I really hope that the Debbie Collier case, I really hope that they're going to have a press conference really soon. If you didn't see my Debbie Collier video from earlier, please go check it out. And yeah, I'll probably make 2 or 3 videos every day for you guys. So I hope you don't miss any of those. They're not all live streams. Some are just regular uploads. So make sure that the bell is turned to all so you don't miss out on those. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.